All right. This is our first YouTube Live. This is our test run. Joel here with details. And since we're going live, I guess we can do a quick little Q&A if anybody has any questions. We have 0 people on right now, but we'll see if anybody jumps on. If they do, we will, we'll answer any questions. Oh, we got Serrano, first and second. Serrano, and third. This is our first ever live, so testing it out. If it goes well, if it goes well, then we'll do more of these, and we'll actually schedule one, and then we can actually get some more people. How does the clarity look, guys? What are we looking at? Does it look pretty? And the sound quality. Let me know what the sound quality and what it looks like visually, if you guys can do me that favor. Humberto, Gil, or Serrano. Again, Gil, this is our first, so there's 6 of us in here now. So this is our first live stream. So as I said at the very beginning, me and Sal are kind of testing this out. If this works well, we'll try to do this weekly. Okay, nice. So, so if this goes well, we're going to continue to do this maybe once a week. And right now, what I want to do is I want to pretty much just do a live Q&A if anybody wants to jump on. This is just a test for sound, for visual quality, as well as to kind of see, how many people will randomly jump on. Obviously, we're going to schedule these in the future, but I just wanted to see right now, I did a quick lighting setup, a quick setup in the studio to see exactly what we're going to look like. So if you guys have any questions right now, I know there's only 5 of us on, but if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot, and I'll answer any questions you have. Any questions, any detailing question you have, unless it's about like personal stuff. Thank you, Barry. Thank you. Yeah, so Sal would be here with me right now, but he's picking up the kids. He has some stuff he has to take care of, but I asked him, I said, and I am recording on my phone. That's why it has the logo backwards. So, and unfortunately, I can't flip it during the recording because I do want to see your guys' questions and your answers. What type of beard oil do I use? I use all Jack Black products for my grooming, except for my moisturizers and the stuff I use on my face, completely different, but I use Jack Black products on my beard. Cleaning in the barrels of the wheels. What do you suggest for cleaning barrels on the wheels and tool? So I usually use, depending on the wheels, if it's a maintenance vehicle, we coat a lot of our maintenance vehicles, especially if they're a high performance braking system on that vehicle, like, any of the Audi S series, if it's a S5, if it's S series or up, not the S line, but the S series. So if it's the S5, S7, S8, or any of the RS lines, pretty much anything above the S line for Audis are going to have a high performance, larger brake. So those kick out a ton of brake dust, as well as any of the AMG lines for the Mercedes. So, and then you have other vehicles like Jaguar, BMW, the M series, those are going to have large calipers, which kick out a lot more brake dust. So with those, most of the time we usually hit the barrels with acid, but you have to be very careful with acid. Usually we'll hit the barrels with acid and let that dwell for a while. And then we use, brake buster or whatever else we're using, even degreaser. Most of the time it's usually like a degreaser or something for the actual spokes. And then we just go in there with our easy detail brush and go at it. Or you can use something like this. This is going to be a really soft, this mitt, and this goes on your hand. Rag Company makes them. This one here is from Obsessed Garage. I don't know if they make these anymore, but we had about 3 or 4. These tend to get hard over time and these start to fall out, but you have to be careful whenever you're using something non-pH balanced, non-pH neutral, I should say, with something like this, because it will deteriorate the material. So Sal, no pops. No, Sal, no pops. We're just doing a quick, oh man, where did that go? Oh, some of the questions popped up. Still trying to figure this out. Some messages, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it only pops up when there's a message. So what step do you do to lay bar, to do on clay bar? Yeah, mitts and towels for wheels are fantastic. Like those to me are, the lug nuts and stuff around there. Any thoughts on elastomer? I'm not sure what those coatings are. Sorry. But yeah, the brushes are great for certain areas, crevices. But I like something with a little bit more control, something I could actually kind of maneuver with my hand to get into spaces. I feel it's a little bit more space efficient and you're covering more surface area at a singular swipe or movement. As far as coatings, most people kind of know where we stand with coatings. Coatings are not our bread and butter of our business. We do like coatings. We install coatings. We do corrections and coatings. It's not something we don't offer. It's just something we're not really big at pushing out. We probably will a little bit further down the line, but they're just so time consuming and it's a lot of work. So, me and Sal, we do have a process now to where we have a team that actually comes in and will do all the pre-work before us. They'll take care of the wash, the decon. They'll take care of pretty much everything. So all we have to do is polish, coat, and do the finishing of the vehicle. But yeah, as far as coatings, right now I'm really liking any of the Owner's Pride lines of coatings are fantastic. I really like the Seaquartz SIC. That one I'm really excited about. Right now, the Carbon Collectives are good as well. PNS coatings, they're coatings I was never really a big fan of. The PNS coatings, they're not bad coatings. They're just very difficult to install. In my opinion, a coating shouldn't be that hard to install anymore. What products do you prefer for the interior protection, such as leather? So there's a couple different, a lot of companies now are putting out like a SiO2 that's strictly for interior surfaces. We like to use Carbon Collective Nuovo. Nuovo is a SiO2 based sealant and conditioner for the interior. So we don't really use it on leather, but we use it on the hard plastics. We use it on the vinyls. We use it on kind of those materials that are in between a plastic and a leather. Sometimes you have some of those plastics that are a little bit softer, but they're not quite wrapped in any kind of vinyl or leather. It's kind of like an in-between material. We use Nuovo for stuff like that, usually for the dashboards, unless those are leather. But with leather, we usually, if the client wants something more than just a conditioner and protectant, then we'll throw on, any kind of coating that we have for leather on hand. Usually I like to stick to the Seaquartz leather coatings. We do have a couple other different coatings for interiors, but as far as the leather materials, we like to use the Seaquartz line. Their leather, I think it's leather 2.0 is what we currently use. And then we also like to use the interior protect. I forget what it's called. If Serrano's on here, who probably knows, or Humberto may know, the DIY interior one, that one's not bad as well. It does have interior, I think it's called interior ceramic, but that one's a good one too. It kind of brings back a little bit of richness, doesn't give you a crazy gloss or shine. And then there's Swift too. Swift by PNS is really good. That leaves behind some protection. But yeah, there's not a lot that we use as far as interior protection. As far as rejuvenation, that's kind of one that we really like to do. We like to recondition, like old leather that's really beat up. So you really have to treat that well, exfoliate, steam clean, scrub, and then you go into the steaming and then the protection phase, which can really drastically change not only the feel of the leather, but the look of the leather, and then also how long the leather is going to be able to last. And then sometimes you just have leather that's just so far gone where it's literally just dry. It's just dried out. It's past the point of return. It's pretty much, with leather, it's kind of like paint. When you get to a certain point, there's really nothing you can do. But when it comes to interior, there's a lot of different options out there. I even know some guys that use exterior protection on the interior of the cars. So that's always great. When you steam, do you use a cleaner with it, express? It depends. So this is a very good question because we're actually going to make a video and we are going to be offering a secondary class for anybody that has taken the School NM training. It's going to be an advanced steaming techniques course. There's multiple ways to use steam. I think a lot of guys kind of use steam in a very generic sense. They think, okay, well, I need to spray down my material, because steaming you can do for a few different purposes. Your thoughts on the one battery operated sprayer or the big pump sprayer that you use them for? Rinseless wash and rinse. So the battery operated sprayers are trash. If you're talking about the like the SPTA, the Big Boy, the Carbon Collective, and I forget who else makes it. But if that's the one that pumps up automatically, I actually have one right here, but I don't want to move. Those ones are trash. If you're talking about the IK one with the big handle, those I'm not sure, but most IKs in my experience, I don't like IK foamers. They're a great build, but as far as the actual user side of it, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the IK. Oh yeah, so you're talking about the IK battery operated one. I'm not sure if the IK, the big one, is good, but that would probably be the only one worth investing in, considering the other ones. For every review I've ever heard was just all trash. Like, if you're looking for, me and Sal spent so much time looking for quality pump sprayers. I tried them all. Merolex is hands down the best. It's the best. They are expensive, but anything, what I've learned, and this is one reason a lot of detailers give us a lot of hate, is because we don't talk about things that are okay or things that are questionable or things that might work. We try to test things out and only give you guys the information that's worth listening to. We're not going to tell you, oh, well, this might be good, or what do you think about this, or this is compared to this. Forget all that junk. Like, I'm just going to tell you, okay, this works. This works. I can't see what it says. Sorry. It comes up and then it fades out, the questions. So sometimes two pop up. So I'm trying to read them at the same time. Sorry. It's our first live stream. But where was I? Pump sprayers, Merolex. We've tried them all. We've tried all the pump sprayers on the market. None of them, even if they say they're acid resistant, they're not. So don't be fooled by, what the hype is, what everybody else is using, because most of the time, most of those guys don't even know good quality because they've never experienced what's best. So let's say, for instance, you've only had a McCulloch steamer your entire career. You don't know what you're missing out on unless you have a VX 5000, one of those. There's another one, I think a Auto something, I forget the name, whatever. But unless you have something with a PSI of over 75 or 80, 85, 100, 125, 110, unless you've had a steamer like that with a good quality build, you really don't know what you're missing out as far as difference and efficiency and the level of cleaning you're doing and what those are capable of doing. So when I hear people saying, oh, well, my McCulloch is just doing fine for me right now, or my pump sprayer is doing just fine, that all that tells me is that they have not tried the better. So you have to realize, okay, those are good. Those are good. But just imagine what you could be doing. and that's where we try to give you guys information, because there's so many people out there saying, oh yeah, this is the best, this is the best, when in fact it's not. Most people think that IKEA is the best, but it's not. It's really not. Like, to me, if anything, the build is good. You could probably drop that thing off of a 2-story building and it probably won't break, but it doesn't matter. I'm not willing to sit there and pump spray something for, I don't know, 3-4 minutes to get 2 seconds of spraying out of it. So, and if you guys are on right now, go ahead, hit the like button, please. Help us support the channel so we can keep giving you this information. It also lets me know what's working, if these live streams are working for you, if the already canceled podcast is working for you, if you like the tips and tricks, if you guys like the tutorials on how-tos, if you guys like the business segments. All of our videos that you watch, if you please just go in there, like them or dislike them, whatever it is that you are kind of gravitating more towards, just so we know where to take this channel and what direction to push it in, because this channel is for you guys. I want to make sure that you guys get the best possible information. 661. Okay, so I have an incoming call right now. 304. To be a guest already canceled. Sorry. Can you hear? I don't know if you could hear the phone ringing, but it's a client that I'm gonna have to call back. 661. Where is that? That's not my area code. Love your content, always informative. Yeah. So basically, our channel is here to provide you guys with the best. What's up, OC Shine Detailing? David Garcia. Short live videos during on-site details are the best. Do those more. I do try to do those more, but we're so quick on the jobs. I always do it whenever we have a disaster detail, because there's always a lot of good information and little snippets. And if you guys join on those lives, you guys already know how informative we get when it comes to certain things. How about the detail guy that has a 5-gallon battery sprayer? Any thoughts? What's going on, Gary? A 5-gallon sprayer, that's just overkill. If he's trying to see, I've tried to do all of those things because we were limited. I started detailing and then we had a really bad drought in California. So of course I was trying to be not only a responsible citizen of the state, but I was also trying to comply with all of our, all of our water compliances and restrictions at the time. So I was doing rinseless. I did rinseless for about 3 years, strictly rinseless. And of course you do need a good amount of water if you're doing rinseless. So I would usually take like a bucket full of water with me that had my rinseless solution, but I would never dunk back into that water bucket, because now you're just recycling old water. And I don't care if you have a wash mitt or whatever. Everybody wants to do these tests and say, oh, well, it encapsulates and it separates this from that and blah, blah, blah. I get it. Yes, that does work. But if you don't want to, I just don't want to contaminate anything. I don't want to throw it back into that if I don't have to. So I eliminate the possibility of scratching or marring from recycled dirty water, which is what you're actually putting back into the bucket. So a lot of these guys doing these tests on YouTube, like, oh, this rinseless water, look how much it encapsulates. That becomes irrelevant because I've already solved the problem. That's no longer an issue for me because we're not dunking anything dirty back into that bucket. That bucket only gets clean microfibers or clean towels or clean wash mitts. So the clean wash mitts, after they're used, they go into another bucket that's dirty. There's no recycling. So we try to give it information like that that's going to make it easier for you to detail, that's more practical for you to detail, and for you to be able to maximize your earning potential based off of any kind of system that you're doing. And we do that the same way with our, foam washes. If we're foam washing a vehicle, the same mitt's never using the same part of the vehicle. So we're eliminating any of that cross-contamination from your dirty bucket. And I don't care what anybody says, that first bucket is a dirty bucket. It's always going to be dirty. That's why if it wasn't dirty, you wouldn't need grit guards. Are you going to make a update video on Jimbos? Yeah, we are. So with the digging the new set and series. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Gary. We got to have you over. But yes, Clint. My man knows Clint. I was just gonna grab a stack, but When it comes to quality, guys, we just try to show you and eliminate all of the riffraff. No more, when it comes to certain types of things, we are all about them because they've showed the true test of time. A lot of these guys that are trying to give you guys information about quality products or tools haven't even been doing this long. They don't even understand what the longevity is of what they're using. They don't understand what could happen in 3, 4, 5 months with maybe some of the products they're using, or the changes that may be made from the manufacturer previously. So there's a lot of things, and just the time that I've been here, I've seen a lot of things being changed. Like everybody's trying to go to a Korean towel because obviously Klin is the king of towels, but people are trying to go to Korean towels because the quality might be a little bit better. But guess what? You still have trash being made in Korea. You have great stuff, the best being made in Korea, but you also have trash being made in Korea. So they're just trying to say, oh, well, since they're made in Korea, they're just as good. They're just trying to sell you something, guys. That's all they're trying to do. They're simply just trying to sell you stuff. Klin Carbon Detective, Detailed Division. Yeah, Detailed Division has the best of the best. That's why it's called Detailed Division, because there's a clear division between those and those. Any techniques while using a rotary buffer, so you don't make a mess. Be careful. Rotaries, and go slow when you're starting. When you're going slow, make sure you always have it tilted properly. Make sure you have a good angle. Make sure that you have good vision on what you're seeing and what you're chopping. You don't want to hit any corners. You don't want to ride any lines too long. You don't want to be on any edges. And just take it slow, take it easy, enjoy the process. And with polishing in general, guys, it just takes practice. Practice, practice, practice. That's pretty much all it is just practice. So no matter how long you've been polishing with the DA, no matter, your level of experience detailing, when you're picking up a rotary, you're going into another level of detailing and you're going into another level of automotive reconditioning. So you are going to get better gloss, you're going to get better results, but obviously the risk factor is going to be a little bit higher. But like anything else in this business, it's a tool. It's a great tool for you to take yourself to the next level and to cut down on times. Like there's certain things I wouldn't do without a rotary because you're just crazy, because I've done it in the past and I'm never going to do it again. Like I'll never do a boat or RV without a rotary. I've done them. Is it possible? Yes. But you're looking at hours, and without the best results. You're probably not going to get great results if you're using a DA. When I see guys doing vans and RV, like big gel coats without a rotary, I'm just like, you're tripping. Like, have fun. You're going to be on that. You couldn't pay me enough to do it and say, oh no, you're not. You can't. You got to take away, because that tool is like your best tool when it comes to those types of jobs. So just make sure that you're using the proper technique and you're really minimizing the risk as much as you can. There's a lot of tutorials now on rotary, a lot more than there was. There's a lot of different pad combinations. I'm going to be trying a new pad combination that I actually just found out about not too long ago. It's actually with the Rupes DA pads, with the wool pads, the wool DA pads, the medium wool yellow DA pads. I've been seeing guys use those on rotary. So I'm kind of excited to try that out, because most rotary pads I'm not too keen on, because a lot of them are really big, bulky. They kick out a bunch of fibers, so you're making a mess, or they're just not cutting as much as you want to. Finishing down, obviously, with wool, with foam is completely different process and different technique, depending on who you ask. But for the most part, have fun with the rotary. Grab some junkyard panels and just go at it. Have a good time. So we're going to wrap it up right now. This was just a first test run of our first live. So if you guys liked it, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you are, thank you so much for all of your guys' support. It looks like this is a fairly easy process, so we'll probably schedule something and jump on to answer your calls, or we'll have specific topics. What we'll do is we'll put out the topic before with the thumbnail, and then we will set it up for a certain date. That way you guys can schedule accordingly and we can be here for you. So we may even do some with some of our frequently asked questions. So we'll be on tomorrow. So we're definitely going to schedule one for tomorrow now that we have this this process down. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much. We really appreciate everything that you guys have done to support not only the channel, but to support our business and the industry. So thank you so much. I have nothing more to say, but we're extremely grateful for all of the support that you guys have given us. And yeah, if you guys are not busy right now, hang in there. Things will get better. Trust me, we've all been there. So just hang on, and you know, we're always here to help as well. So we'll catch you guys on the next one. Now I got to figure out how to turn this thing off now. Right, how do we get out of here?